Hey everyone, welcome back. So glad you're here. We're going to dive right into this explainer today, and we're tackling a topic that honestly touches literally every single one of us. But, it often brings up a whole lot of stress. Yep, we're talking about money. The source material we're looking at today offers some genuinely fascinating insights into our financial habits. And listen, if you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by your finances, you are absolutely not alone. There is zero judgment here. We're going to unpack this whole money thing in a totally fresh, approachable way today.
Okay, so let's start with a really honest question. You get your paycheck, you feel good, maybe you finally feel like you got some breathing room, right? But then, a week or two later, you're magically running out of cash again. It is incredibly frustrating, isn't it? You work hard for a steady paycheck, yet you constantly feel completely broke. Now, we naturally assume the answer is just, well, our paycheck is too small. But we really have to ask ourselves, what if the reason you're always running out of money isn't actually that you don't make enough?
Now, what's really interesting here is the massive paradigm shift this introduces. I mean, we spend so much energy trying to figure out how to bring more dollars through the front door that we completely ignore the back door just being wide open. Financial stress isn't always an income problem. Actually, a lot of times, it's a behavior problem. The real core of the issue is exactly what happens to your money after it lands in your hands. Just think about how quickly it happens. The money hits your account, you breathe a momentary sigh of relief, and then bam, the bills hit. The food delivery apps ping you, you make a quick shopping trip. Oh, and those 5 different streaming subscriptions you completely forgot about? Yeah, they auto-renew. Plus, you make some random 2 a.m. online purchase you definitely didn't need. The weekend rolls around, you go out with friends. It's like this chaotic, rapid barrage just draining your account dollar by dollar, day by day, until somehow, before you even know what happened, your bank account is right back to zero. And when the dust settles and the account is basically empty again, we all tell ourselves the exact same thing. We stare at the screen, we sigh, and we say, I just need to make more money. It is literally the most common myth we tell ourselves. It's kind of a comforting lie, really, because as long as we believe the problem is simply our paycheck, well, we never actually have to look in the mirror and examine our own daily habits. But here is the slightly uncomfortable truth the data reveals. If you don't change your habits, making more money might not change your life anywhere near as much as you think. Actually, affordability and financial freedom, they are not the same thing. A person making $50,000 a year with strong, intentional financial habits can actually be in a far better, way less stressful position than someone making $100,000 a year with terrible habits. Because true wealth isn't just about how much money comes in, it's about how much you keep. And this builds into one of the absolute most dangerous financial traps out there, lifestyle inflation. You know the drill. As income goes up over time, spending just naturally rises to match it perfectly, leaving absolutely zero savings. You get a raise, and suddenly you convince yourself you need to upgrade your phone, or you get a better job, and suddenly you move into a way more expensive apartment. Eating out becomes the norm instead of a treat. Sure, you can technically afford it, but your financial freedom hasn't increased at all. You're making more money, but you still feel totally broke. So, the crucial point is figuring out how to break this totally exhausting cycle. And the source material offers a really blunt, powerful first step. Stop trying to look rich. Seriously, this is a massive trap in our modern society. The goal shouldn't be to impress a bunch of strangers you pass on the street, no way. The real goal is to build a life where money doesn't dictate and control every single decision you make. We fall for this dangerous illusion every single day. We see someone with a brand new luxury car, designer clothes, the latest phone, and we automatically assume, wow, they are wealthy. But what we don't see is the suffocating credit card balance, the massive monthly payments, and the hidden debt that's keeping them awake at night. Contrast that with true wealth. Real wealth can actually look, well, kind of boring. It looks like an older car that's completely paid off. It looks like invisible savings. And most importantly, waking up without that heavy financial stress. Once we stop trying to look rich, we have to fix our operating system. Think about the traditional, deeply flawed formula most people use. Step 1, earn money. Step 2, pay bills. Step 3, spend money. And Step 4, whatever is miraculously left over gets saved. Do you see the fatal flaw here? By the time you reach Step 4, there is absolutely nothing left to save. It's basically a system designed for failure from the get-go. Instead, you've got to flip the whole system on its head. Get paid, and immediately, like before anything else happens, save first. Pay yourself first.
Then, pay your bills and spend what remains. And listen, even if you start with just 25 or 50 bucks a paycheck, the amount isn't the most important part right now. The consistency is. Because you aren't just building a bank balance, you're building an identity. You are officially telling yourself, I am a person who saves money.
Now, don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean you can never enjoy your money again. It's just about becoming intentional. The problem is when every passing desire feels like a financial emergency. Enter the 24-hour rule. This is a brilliant little habit to adopt. If you see something expensive that you want, do not buy it immediately. Impose a strict law on yourself to wait 24 hours. Often, you'll realize you didn't actually want the product itself. You just wanted that quick hit of dopamine, that temporary excitement. Recognizing that pattern, that gives you your power back.
Now, what's really interesting about this next step is how incredibly basic it is, yet how many of us actively avoid it. We have to stop ignoring our numbers. It's so common to be absolutely terrified to open your banking app. You know the feeling? You don't want to see the interest, you don't want to calculate the debt, but avoiding your finances doesn't make the problem disappear. It just makes it invisible. And invisible problems are basically impossible to solve. You don't need a complex spreadsheet. Just know 3 things: how much comes in, how much goes out, and exactly how much you owe. But as you finally sit down to look at those numbers, there's one vital rule you absolutely must take to heart. Don't judge yourself for where you are today. Maybe you've made some bad decisions in the past. Maybe you've racked up some debt. Or maybe you just feel like you're starting incredibly late. That is all completely okay. You cannot change yesterday no matter how much you stress over it. But you do have absolute control over what happens next. So just drop the shame. Dropping that shame allows us to build a solid foundation of peace. Because let's face it, life is unpredictable and it really does not care about your budget. Your car will break down, your phone is going to shatter. Without savings, every single unexpected event instantly becomes high-interest debt, pushing you further and further behind. But with a small emergency fund, a broken transmission is still a stressful inconvenience, sure, but it is no longer a total financial disaster. You stop living one flat tire away from a full-blown panic. And as you build that buffer, yes, absolutely, work on increasing your income. Learn new skills, ask for a raise, maybe start a side business. But the sources highlight a really important rule here. If your income goes up by, say, $1,000 a month, you do not have to spend that entire $1,000. Actually, use that increased income to buy yourself freedom. Put part of it toward debt, part toward savings, and part to enjoy life. Make the money serve you rather than letting it control you. This brings us to one of the biggest emotional hurdles you're going to face on this journey: social media. We've got to stop comparing our financial lives to someone else's highlight reel. You see a stranger buying a huge house or vacationing every single month and you think, man, why am I so far behind? But remember, you're comparing your messy behind-the-scenes reality to a highly curated, filtered highlight reel. You have absolutely no idea if their lifestyle is built on a massive mountain of unsustainable debt. Measure your progress only against your past self. So the crucial point we really have to accept is that real, lasting financial success is usually, incredibly boring. Everyone wants the dramatic story, right? The overnight crypto millionaire, the secret side hustle. But the real formula looks more like this: save, spend less than you earn, invest, repeat, over and over again. It's not glamorous, it's really not exciting, but it works 100% of the time because it is sustainable. You don't need to get rich overnight, you just need to get financially stronger over time. Which brings us to the core message of this whole explainer. You do not need to wait for the perfect, massive salary to start taking this seriously. If you learn how to intentionally and carefully manage $100 today, you will be fully prepared with the right mental muscles to manage $10,000 tomorrow. But if you can't manage the $100, handing you $10,000 is only going to amplify your bad habits. Start where you are right now with whatever you have. Because at the end of the day, your habits literally become your future. Every time you choose to save instead of impulse buying, you are practicing discipline. Every time you pay down debt, you are quite literally buying yourself future freedom. Financial independence isn't created by one single giant lucky decision. It's forged by thousands of small, unsexy decisions made consistently, day after day. So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a final vital question to think about. You don't need to transform your entire life by tomorrow morning, but what is the one better decision you will make today? Are you going to cancel one unused subscription? Will you automate a $20 transfer to your savings? The journey to becoming financially free starts with just one better choice today.
go make it. Thanks so much for learning with me, and I'll see you in the next explainer.